Hello everyone, my name is Nova and I will be showing you guys a best of 7 that was played last week, and we've got a really interesting one. We have the Beauties and the Beast versus the GrumpyKittens, so this is going to be really interesting. Beauties and the Beast is the new team. They were playing against Potatoes. Unfortunately, we couldn't finish that match. It was 2-0 in favor of Potato. And today they're going to be duking it out against GrumpyKittens. So GrumpyKittens, but before that, let me introduce the players. Here on the top right, we have Raul. We have Darkwhite. And we have Shashka. So this is the Beauties and the Beast. Bottom left, it's going to be Triss. It's going to be Kachar and Imsux. And here the match is Terran, Protoss, Terran up against Protoss, Terran, Terran. So a little bit of PTT versus TPT. Let's see how this works out. Pretty evenly so far. Let's see. Will we get to CBCs, which is the new meta? Let's find out. GrumpyKittens, just to give a little bit of background on this team. This team is basically the Raul of GDSL, of Direct Strike at this point. So I do expect big things coming out of them in this match. But so far, it's the Beauties and the Beast that have middle. Let's see. Okay, so we have BCs coming from both sides. You can see that the orange on the top left is already going for tier 3, and so is purple. So it's going to be Shashka and Imsux in a BC mirror match. This new format, it's basically everyone going BCs. Kachar just decided one day, like, oh, you know, let's make BCs viable. And suddenly BCs is the new meta now. It's a little bit hard of making it work, I think, for Imsux, because he's going to be leaking into Protoss, and Stalkers are pretty good at dealing against BCs, but let's see how this goes. Already one gas, and it's not from Imsux. It's from Kachar. I believe the third lane, if you're going BCs on the third lane, you don't get a gas. You would normally do it on the first and second lane, but you don't do it on the third lane, because if you don't gas, you can afford BC a round earlier. And here we have it already. The BC from Imsux is making his way across the desert. I'm very curious to see how the micro is gonna go between Imsux and Shashka. Shashka has a nice looking battlecruiser. Okay, here comes the warps, here comes the marines, and this is the power of the BC. You're almost guaranteed to stack. Just the way the BC works, it's very high HP, high armor, and then he blinks back, and he's kind of stays there frozen a little bit. It just really helps out stacking. And then he adds a ton of DPS to the next wave, which is 5 damage every 0.16 seconds. That's a lot of DPS. But like I was saying, Stalkers are pretty good at dealing with the BCs. They're one of the units that I think has the best matchup against BCs is Protoss with Stalkers. Hey, and Raul is doing mass Stalkers against Marines, and the way normally Marines beat out mass Stalker, but since he knows that his teammate from the previous lane is battlecruisers, he can just afford to go mass Stalkers and either try to catch up, or if the BCs get pushed like this, he could even blink back and stack with the next wave, which is Darkwhite, and she's just adding Marines. It's a really good stacking potential for the top team, I would say. And Triss is adding now Libs to deal with the Stalkers, but the issue is, like, if just one BC survives from Shashka, then the Liberator won't ever be able to deal with the BC. So the BC can just clear the Libs. Libs, once upon a time, used to be like the strongest unit. It was like, how do I counter Libs? How do I counter Libs? Well, it turns out BCs don't care about Libs. They really do not care. Libs just cannot trade effectively against BCs whatsoever. And already here we have a bunker going down. Now, this is somewhat normal, right? Like, it's not the end of the world just yet. You never know how these games are gonna end with BCs. When it's BC against BC, I've seen games being turned around at 25 minutes. Like, you just never know what's gonna happen. You never know who's gonna win. Just because if you're playing BCs, when you get pushed like this, for example, you get pushed, right? But then the BCs just get that even more stacking potential. Oh, a little bit of a late siege there from Triss. He could have sieged that lib just a little bit quicker. And now the Stalkers are still alive. All the Marines are down. The Sentry's really paying off. And if he's able to deal a lot of damage to this BC, is he gonna get it? It's so important. Okay, doesn't get it. And the thing is, like, BC, it doesn't care. If you have 40 HP or 550 HP, it still does 100% damage. So the one BC surviving deals a lot of damage. Okay, but Darkwhite just... the minerals from the cannon going down is too much. He's just able to afford just a bigger army. She's already 2-2 as well. Really like this army from Darkwhite just pushing. And the BC's just chilling there at the back. Okay, but now this is another opportunity for GrumpyKittens to stack. This is pretty good, but no Widow Mines. Let's see how these disruptors from Raul are gonna do. Decent. 3 kills, 9 kills on the other one. Okay, better than decent. Marines all go down, and now it's just BCs with no HP against Stalkers. Really nice. Imsux is really blinking there, the BCs at the absolute last minute. And it almost saved them, but man, they just trade so poorly against Stalkers. Like, when you're playing BCs, you really your most favored matchup would be going up against a Terran or a Zerg, and the next wave be another Terran or a Zerg. But if your opponents are Protoss, it's just very hard because the Stalkers just trade out so effectively against the BCs, even if there's some linked BCs. And another way of dealing with the BC has been adding Ravens, because Ravens, the interference matrix freezing them and the anti-armor missile just really reduces that very high armor from the BC. Okay, and yeah, the Widow Mine really protecting some Marines there. Disruptors got a lot less kills, 4 between them, but Raul added High Templars. He knows what he's doing. He just needs AoE, needs to clear the bio, and he knows that the libs will be cleared by the BCs from Shashka. I gotta say, man, I'm really surprised this game. Kachar did kind of... is the person that I would say is the one who invented the BC meta, I would say. I would accredit him to him. He was the first one that messaged me saying, like, oh, I think BCs are gonna work. It was like, how are BCs gonna work? And, well, here we are, right? It's the meta now. But yeah, BCs... pretty good. Okay, and there is a moment where if you're pushing with BCs from Shashka, I'm very curious to see what he's going to do next. Because you can just add BCs, right? But there's also other things you could do, right? Like, you could you're pushing now, so you can maybe start adding some other units. And I'm really curious to see what kind of units he's going to add. But yeah, this is just sad, man. Like, all the Liberators from Triss are just not surviving, and he really needs those libs to be able to deal with the Stalkers. But they're getting cleared by the Stalkers, so they're not even getting a chance to deal with the BCs. Here comes Darkwhite. She's already adding Thors. Like, if you have BCs and you're getting leaked the Terran who's just anti-armoring your missile or anti-armoring your battlecruisers every wave, and also has Thors to deal with a lot of DPS. It kind of forces you to spend your blink. It forces you to spend your Yamatos. It's just an uncomfortable time. But let's see. Shashka's still just adding more BCs. Also, BC versus BC, you can kind of see here. It's very interesting. You can see that they didn't just all blink in at the same time, right? Like, it is very micro-intensive. You kind of want to Yamato them, but you want to evade your opponent's Yamatos. So you want to, like, do it manually. and you kind of want to do it 1 or 2 BCs at a time. You just want to blink the one that's getting Yamato'd, and you want to Yamato them without them being able to blink away. It's a very interesting way to play. It's kind of like Disruptor versus Disruptor. You want to shoot first, but I'm not entirely sure what the best way is of doing it right now, so I'm hoping to find out from this match. Oh man, this Nexus is getting dangerously low. That's very low HP. It's already 50% and it's getting more damage. Is it gonna go down? Yeah, okay, Nexus goes down. GG is called. Beauties and the Beast taking game number 1. Very impressed. Wow, I didn't think that was quite gonna end up that quickly. Props to Beauties and the Beast. They've been practicing. The other week I saw them practice. Well, when they played against Grand Potatoes, right? Like the games looked nothing like this. Grand Potatoes was completely able to destroy the BC wave, but it looks like GrumpyKittens was not able to do it this game. But let's see. Let's load up into the next one. Here we have the next one. Let me update real quick the scoreboard. Go. And introducing the players on the top right now, we have the GrumpyKittens with Triss in the first line, Imsux in the middle, and Kachar in the third lane. And on the left, we have Pepper, Shashka, and Darkwhite. So this time it's gonna be Pepper instead of Raul, and Pepper knows how to play. So let's see how this goes. We have Protoss, Terran up against Terran, Protoss. Now let's see. All I'm interested in, who's gonna make the BCs. That basically determines this game, and looks like it's going to be the middle lane this time, going BCs. And I think this should favor GrumpyKittens, because it's gonna be BCs from Shashka going into pure Stalkers. So now we're getting to see exactly the same matchup from the last game, but on opposite sides. So it's GrumpyKittens, the one with the Protoss advantage, up against the BCs. And it's going to be Beauties and the Beast on the back foot this time. And you can see that the difference. Okay, they're going for BCs, they're going tier 3, and they both got 1 gas at the start of the game. That's because you can get 1 gas if you're on the first or second lane, because you got a BC on the third wave. If you're on the third lane, you want to make sure to get that BC on the second lane. So in order to do that, you need to not get a gas. It's very important. I was one where I used to think, okay, I'm going BC, so I'm gonna take a while, so I might as well just gas. Well, not really. You want to get out the BC as early as possible. And for lane 1 and 2, that's not possible until the third wave, so you can gas, because you can afford it. But not on the third lane. And here we have Mass Marine versus Stalkers. Now, Kachar can afford to do this Mass Stalkers because he doesn't have to win per se. He doesn't have to win right now. That's not what this is about. The main wave that matters is the BCs. Who gets to win and lose the BC fights. Who gets to stack on the back of the BCs, who gets the advantage early on, who gets it later. That's all very important. You can see Darkwhite even suiciding her Marines. She stimmed them all the way. And I believe Pepper will want to lose, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, Pepper is going to lose. And you can see Triss is trying to lose. He stims all his Marines because he's trying to get killed as quick as possible. So the Shashka, his BC doesn't get delayed. He wants the BC to go to the middle as soon as possible, so Imsux and Shashka can duke it out with their BCs. Okay, and Imsux doesn't even think about it. He just instantly blinks. What does Kachar do? Will he blink front? No blink out of Kachar. Now he just gets blink. He doesn't have +1 armor. He preferred blink over +1 armor. I would say with this many stalkers, I think you need both. He is going to lose this round. Okay, now here comes Triss. Just does the cleanup. And yeah, Triss's wave now is a little bit damaged. He's like, he had to stam all his units. But Pepper has blink. He's just not blinking. Oh, okay, but Triss suicides all his units. Yeah, he masses him. He really wants to lose as soon as possible. And you can see this by the way that the base looks like for Imsux, where his BCs are at the back and Kachar's stalkers are front. He just wants to make the BCs be able to blink back like he just did, and now the stalkers can blink front and catch the BCs as quick as possible. And here we go. Shashka trying to evade. He blinks away. He's trying to Yamato. Okay, there we go. Get the second Yamato. And now let's look. That's a lot of damage. Just 2 BCs. That's 0.16 every 0.16 seconds 5 damage. That's a lot of damage. Yeah, all the Marines go down. Marines just have a really tough time when dealing with the BCs, and they all get cleared. And now Pepper is just helpless against this unstoppable wave. There's no way he's gonna be able to clear a BC plus bio plus stalkers. Yeah, and you can see Triss is very confident already. He knows what's happening. He's going T2. And this cannon is gonna go down. Can he get enough damage on Shashka's BCs? Shashka does blink away to safety. Protects a lot of his BC's health. And now here comes Darkwhite. That's a lot of Marines. Yeah, but the thing is, like, Imsux knows that Shashka can't blink away because he already used it, so he just Yamatos and blink away. But since he didn't use the blinks to dodge the BCs from the Yamatos, Shashka can just hold it and then Yamato after he blinks. It's kind of confusing, but the micro's there. He's just Shashka's doing an excellent job at it. But yeah, man, this is just too much. As a Protoss, there's no chance you can deal with all of this. You can barely deal with a Terran at 6 minutes. A lot less being able to deal with both Terran and Stalkers being linked. You just can't do it. And then Triss has a Raven, and this Raven, I think these Ravens are huge because now he can anti-armor missile the 4 BCs. Look at even the Widowmine killing one of the BCs. Another BC goes down. Oh no, this is really not looking hot for Beauties and the Beast. GrumpyKittens coming in hot on game number 2. Nice blink away, and then a blink from the Stalkers. Sentries protect the Stalkers with the Force Field. Sorry, with the Guardian Shield. That's a lot of Stalkers from Pepper. Oh my god. 3 lines of Stalkers. But that's about what Kachar has as well. Are the upgrades are different? Yeah, Kachar is +1. I would really like to see +1 coming out of Pepper. Okay, now this is a pretty big wave because this is a wave he might be able to stack 5 BCs. Okay, and blinks, dodges the anti-armor missile. That's very huge, very good micro there coming out of Shashka. Guys, I promise this looks easy, but it's easy to mess up as well. It's very easy to mess it up. Okay, and Darkwhite now with 1 Raven. This is perfect. Darkwhite really needs to get Ravens to catch, because she wants the anti-armor missile or interference matrix. Both are amazing. But that's a lot of damage, and all the units are clumped. Now Kachar with 3 disruptors, he's going to shoot them. Okay, finally decides to shoot them. 7 kills on one, 7 kills on the other, and there's 1 disruptor still has his shot. Is he going to shoot? Okay, no, too much. That Stalker had big dreams, but sorry, that Disruptor had really big dreams, but no dice. Nice anti-armor missile from Triss, covers all the important units in red, but yeah, Triss's army is just looking way too small. And we're gonna get a comeback. still no attack upgrades on Pepper. Okay, no blink either. I think some auto blink there would have been nice, but now that he's pushing, let's see. BCs are now getting to meet in the middle. Okay, nice. Nice. Where are the blinks? Shashka, where are the blinks? Oh, the storms and the disruptors are huge. Almost all the Marines from Darkwhite go down, and it's just BCs. And Libs just cannot deal with this amount of BCs. Look at Shashka's BCs. They're so... Like, the difference in the way that Shashka and Imsux play this is huge, because Shashka has +0 attack upgrades and Imsux has +3. That's a very huge difference. Okay, now Libs coming out of Triss. I don't think the Stalkers are going to be able to deal with this massive mech army. Absolutely no way. Yeah, you can push once. The thing with BC is like the match is so so like volatile, I think, because if you push the BCs, then they can stack on you. But then the opponent also has BCs, so if they get pushed, they can stack. It's like both sides can stack back and forth very easily. So even if you get pushed, it doesn't matter. It just gives you another opportunity to try a new strategy of stacking. It's really nice to see, but I think we're beginning to see that just the top team, all the mineral advantage that they have, like it's 4 gases to just 2 plus middle, and I think we're really starting to see all the extra money paying off for the GrumpyKittens. And I think Imsux is already in pushing mode, you can see, because he's adding, if you're being pushed, then you just want to add more BCs, right, to try to blink back and stack. But see Shashka, he's the only BCs, nothing else. But Imsux is kind of pushing, where he's starting to add in Ravens to try to deal with the blinking around of Shashka. You can see now these Ravens come, the interference matrix, and anti-armor missile just lands on every BC. And this is just so much damage. The Libs are stuck there, they're attacking, but they're not doing anything. The Marauders, they walk forward by themselves and they just get annihilated. And now the storms, man, the storms have been brutal. When you're storming Marines and they already used their stim, they're just gonna die very quickly, right? Kachar with some questionable disruptor shots there, I think. the earlier disruptor shots from Kachar were much better. He's been trying to hit the next wave, but haven't seen it. Okay, nice blink from Shashka, but this is a lot of army. This can deal a lot of damage. The BCs absolutely need to be here to protect the Nexus. Nexus already at 50% HP, okay? Okay, this is pretty good. This is pretty good. This is a huge opportunity for them. The only issue I see is Darkwhite has so many Libs. The Libs are amazing against the Stalkers from Kachar, but they're absolutely trash against Imsux's BCs. You can see that Darkwhite's army, even with the BC support, is just not able to clear the BCs from Imsux. And the BCs do protect Darkwhite's Libs. They're still alive, but so are the Stalkers. Yeah, these disruptors, man. Good job. Okay, still BCs from Imsux alive. That's and Stalkers. That's never a good sign. That's really not a good sign. Okay. Still get some opportunities, but this is a pretty huge army. You can't just let this attack the Nexus. This will kill the Nexus if you're not careful. That's why he's starting to change his blinking pattern. He leaves some BCs to tank for the Nexus, and then he blinks the other ones. It's a very nice way of protecting your Nexus as much as possible. Kachar, where are Kachar's High Templar? At the front. Very interesting. Kachar attempts one more time to shoot the disruptors and kill something. 1 kill, 2 kills, 1 kill. Okay, that's a lot of BCs, man. There's 5 Immortals in this army. Those 5 Immortals connect against that Nexus. If Stalkers blink, you might be able to even kill the Nexus. Let's see. No, okay, but they're playing it safe. They're focusing on just killing the army, which I don't blame them. Okay, but the Nexus, Disruptor shoots at the Nexus, and yeah, it's going down. GG is called. And GrumpyKitten fighting back, taking game number 2. Okay, and let's quickly jump on to game number 3. Okay, here we have game 3 loading up. Still no Zerg. And this time, I saw something very interesting in that loading screen. But before we talk about it, let's present the players. Beauties and the Beast on the top right side. Darkwhite on the first lane. Shashka on the second lane. And Raul this time on the third lane. We have the GrumpyKittens on the bottom left. With Imsux with Protoss on the first wave. Triss on the second line, and Kachar on the third line, and that's what I wanted to talk about. Well, first, Kachar, that's yellow's my color. What are you doing, man? No, but the important thing to talk about here is Kachar is Protoss and Imsux is Protoss. That's a PTP. Once upon a time, some direct strike history from, you know, years ago in the past. Protoss Terran Protoss was considered banned. Couldn't play it. It was too OP, no one could do anything to stop it, it was just absolutely broken. No one knew how to deal with it. Until the Libs came, and then just Protoss can't deal with Libs very well, so that then Protoss Terran and a second Protoss was considered weak even. Like that's crazy. It was good times. We went from being the most OP to the weakest race. And GrumpyKitten's trying to make it come back. Let's see how they end up in this game. It's gonna be very interesting. Let's see, do we have any BCs? And the answer is yes. So Triss is going to go BC system. Oh, wait, Triss doing BCs. Okay, now I gotta see this. I think Triss, when I see Triss, I mostly see him playing Bio. It's usually Imsux or Kachar, the one that's going BCs. To be honest, I think it's been Imsux, right? I think he did it the past 2 games, and Kachar prefers to play Protoss. And let's see how this game goes. Their cannon's already gonna go down. This is a lot of Marines. Yeah, this cannon's not gonna survive. It goes down. And Beauties and the Beast taking a nice advantage early on. But I'm pretty sure that GrumpyKittens has practiced this at least, right? Like, they probably knew they were gonna lose their cannon this early on. They took that into account. So I'm very curious to see what's their game plan. But the Beauties and the Beast, look at their confidence. 3 gases. Wow. Those were very quick gases. Okay, the Stalkers are gonna go down, and now it's Stalkers protecting Marines. Nice blink front to let the Marines attack. And Darkwhite is going to get the clear on Imsux. But now the BCs are revealed. Hi. Okay, so the BC blinks back and is going to stack. The Nexus clears all the army. That's a lot of Marines from Shashka. And this BC, if it had more upgrades, I would say it'd be able to deal with the Marines, but with this low upgrades, we're still too early on in the game. BC gets cleared almost instantly. And you can kind of see like GrumpyKitten's game plan. Like, both Stalker armies are front, so this is not Stalkers trying to catch Stalkers. This is Stalkers trying to catch as early as they can, trying to catch PCs. Like, I guess you could say that Imsux is trying to catch Kachar Stalkers, but they're both front. Okay, it's a nice group of Stalkers, but the issue is like Darkwhite is just pure Marine, and pure Marine with +2 with Stim. I didn't even realize she already has +2. Like, this is a very early +2, and she's just massacres the Stalkers. Okay, 2 PCs this time, +1 armor. I'm a little bit more hopeful, but oh, Shashka already with a Raven. Just drops the anti-armor missile immediately and an interference matrix. Okay, and GrumpyKittens is doing it. 2 PCs still left alive. The Stalkers are here. Raul has a lot of Zealots. So he's playing this like a complete... like any of the standard 3v3 games, and when you play with pubs, this is what it looks like. There's a lot of Zealots, and I would say Zealots are pretty good at killing Stalkers, normally. But usually at this level, the blinks are just too good. But looks like Darkwhite does not care. Darkwhite just clears everything. Stalkers, no Stalkers, she does not care. And as long as she can get some damage on these BCs, maybe force them to blink, then Shashka is gonna have a real easy time at clearing it. And Shashka's already adding Marauders. Okay, nice anti-armor missile, but does miss one of the BCs. She knows she doesn't have to kill everything. She just has to clear... he has to clear enough so that Raul can deal with it. And the thing is, Raul is not having a hard time clearing it, because he can deal with the BCs just fine. Stalkers are just amazing against BCs. Okay, Imsux fired both. Oh no, sorry. Imsux still has one of the disruptors. The army is looking very clumped. This could be a really sick disruptor, and it gets 8 kills. That's actually pretty good, but the Stalkers are all going down. Disruptors go down. And Darkwhite just clears everything. Imsux just has a small army, and it doesn't trade well enough against Bio. Normally, Protoss can beat Bio, but you need sentries, you need adepts to be able to tank for your Stalkers, and just have them continuously blink back. Like the adept can shade back and the Stalker can blink back, and all those fancy micro moves. But Imsux is not able to get that army. He has to face very different waves each time. Yeah, and now that Kachar and Imsux are just basically making only Stalkers, Raul can just add Immortals. And there's no Zealot, there's no Archon, there's nothing to tank these Immortals. The Immortals are just getting to shoot at Stalkers all day. It's a beautiful time to be an Immortal. 4 kills and 5 kills and 2 kills. Like, that's 60 damage per attack. That's absolutely crazy. Okay, and this is starting to look very bad for the GrumpyKittens, just because Darkwhite is starting to leak Thors into BCs. That's never a good sign. And Shashka is also feeling confident enough to get his own Thors. Normally, you could say, like, okay, so Shashka getting Thors is pretty good at dealing with the BCs from Triss. He wants to be able to clear Triss on a one-to-one, on a clean wave. He wants to be able to deal with Triss. If he wanted to prepare to deal more damage against Kachar, he could go Libs. But for now, he's just focusing on being able to clear his wave. But the thing is, like, these Immortals, man, they're getting so much value. Although there is color, there's every single color here for the GrumpyKittens. Let's see if they're able to clear this. Stalkers, they're not awful against Thors. They're not completely awful, but yeah, Darkwhite's army is just too big. Marines and Marauders with Thors. Pretty good, pretty good. Fancy micro coming out of Triss, blinks back, and gonna save the Yamatos. Yamatos to Thors, and those are manual Yamatos, and you can tell the difference because when you auto Yamato, the BCs don't target the same unit twice. They just target every unit once. And manually, you can just select 2 BCs and Yamato 1 Thor, or even 3, and kill the Thor in 1 shot. Kill the Thor a lot faster. Okay, some Disruptor trades, 3-0. Oh, and even more Disruptor, it's pretty good. But Imsux wanted to save those Disruptors for Darkwhite's wave. And he's losing to just Raul's army. Like, he can't even clear the lead. Okay, some Immortals shooting at the Nexus, but doesn't do any HP damage. Oh man, those Thors sitting just outside the Nexus range is absolutely awful. Well, for GrumpyKittens, it's absolutely awful. The BCs were all cleared. None survived. And now that's a lot of damage going into Kachar wave. Kachar is absolutely not going to be able to deal with Raul's army. Yeah, I'll look at all these Immortals. The Stalkers just get they just melt away. They just completely melt away. And the issue for the GrumpyKittens is that the next wave after Kachar is also Stalkers. So it just makes Raul's wave that usually Protoss doesn't have an amazing mid to late game. And you want to... the real advantage of Protoss is the early game, right? So you really want to get such a huge early on advantage that even if you trade somewhat poorly in the mid to late game, you just have more units, more stuff, and you win that way. But the units from Raul are just getting so much value just because of the army composition coming out of GrumpyKittens. Nice Disruptor shots, 6 and 6 kills from Kachar. Very good, very good. Blinks forward to get the Thors, but the BCs just weren't there on time. And it's 11 minutes. They still have some time to win, right? Like they can still stack. Like, make no mistake, it looks very grim for the GrumpyKittens, but like I said, I've seen BC stack at 20 minutes, so this game is not over yet by any means. The only thing I will say that I worry for them is that they're double Protoss. And double Protoss, not great. You would, if you're playing double Protoss, like I was saying, you really need to win that early game. That's where you get your most advantage. Okay, a blink in place coming out of Triss. He wants to let the Marines and Marauders die to the Nexus, but he doesn't want to let the Thors siege on the Nexus, because it would definitely gone down. It's almost 25% HP. But now the blink is used, and the Thors from Shashka reign supreme. Even Interference Matrix is one of the disruptors, so this disruptor is going to be a little bit awkward to shoot. Okay, shoots twice, hits 3 Immortals and 1 Sentry. Raul misses completely, but it doesn't matter. Okay, it doesn't even matter. He just has so many Immortals at this point that he doesn't have to land his disruptor shots. He can just confidently just make Immortals, and so they're gonna trade out amazing. There's no Zealot, there's no Archon to protect these Stalkers. Okay, and here we have a transition coming out of Triss. He's no longer gonna try to blink away. This time he's going to add libs and try to stay in place and fight it out. Yeah, the thing is, like, if you have BCs and you have libs, right? Like, if you blink away, you're letting all your libs die for free, which is not really ideal. Okay, but never mind about that. There's a lot of Thor sieging on the Nexus, and then it's gonna go down. GG is called, and Beauties on the Beast take game number 3, putting themselves ahead of the GrumpyKittens. Unbelievable. And let's get game number 4 loading up. This time, it's going to be Raul, Pepper, and Shashka. And Pepper's playing Zerg, so we're gonna get to see a Zerg this time. Very curious to see about that, but let's present the players. On the top right, we have the Beauties and the Beast, with Shashka on their first lane, Pepper on their second lane, and Raul on the third lane. On the bottom right, we have... message came in, sorry. Okay, on the bottom left, we have the GrumpyKittens with Kachar on the first lane, Triss on the second lane, and Imsux on the third. Okay, so the most important match I want to see here is, well, first Zerg, because all the other games didn't have Zerg, so I'm very curious to see how that goes down. Let me answer real quick. Okay, so the most matchup I'm very interested in is the Zerg, because normally we don't get to see that many Zergs, so I'm gonna focus that on a lot, but it's going to be a PVT, actually, okay, PVT, and Kachar is the one that's playing Protoss against Terran. No BCs from... Oh, wait, is Imsux? Imsux still hasn't decided if he wants to go BCs. He's not queuing up tier 3. Well, yeah, he can't go BCs, right? He went P2, he can't go BCs because he's playing against Protoss. That makes a lot of sense. Nice Reaper grenade, just moving things around. But Protoss should win this. It's just the way it goes. Protoss is favored against Terran in the early game. And now let's look at the Zerg. So Zerg Ravagers. Let's look at those bios, and those bios are looking nasty. He lands a lot of them. That's a lot of... Yeah, all of them are... He's gonna clear this. He deals with both the Protoss leak and the Terran bio. Really nice micro coming out of there from Pepper. Not enough to clear the libs, but... Okay, so Raul kind of got a little bit greedy there, I would say. He really made a lot of adepts. Yeah, I would say that was very greedy. Normally you want to have more stalkers, but this is still salvageable. Yeah, you can see Raul instantly selling all of the adepts, sells the sentries. It just adds a massive amount of stalkers. Yeah, there's no way Chashka's going to be able to clear this. Protoss is just favored against Terran in the early game, and when you have 3 libs supporting you, you should win your wave. You should win your wave. And when their micro did well, you should win your wave. Yeah, and there's no way Pepper's gonna be able to deal with this. Oh, here we have the signature Hellbat from Triss. Says he likes to add Hellbats against Ravagers because they can't be biled down as easy. He's a little bit unique in that way. But now, this is the problem. Raul is mass stalkers against libs, and the libs just, they have very high DPS, but they're not able to clear this amount of stalkers that quickly, and the stalkers can just keep blinking around, confusing the libs. They don't know where to shoot. All the libs go down, and now it's gonna be stalkers stacking with Marines. And there's a reason why. It's been very hard for Terran players to go lib against Protoss players. It just takes one wave for the stalkers to stack and just completely annihilate the next wave, and then it's all over from there. The Terran player is never going to be able to deal with the stalkers again. Kind of an early shroud, kind of shrouding the army instead of shrouding where the Liberator circles are going to be. If he could land... Oh, okay, he couldn't. No damage, and one lib with 1 HP survives. But Protoss doesn't care. Protoss can deal with it. Okay, nice. Holds on the blink. That's very good coming out of Raul. He wanted to blink when Imsux used his interference matrix, and Imsux was holding out. But look at this, man. It's like there's over 8 stalkers still alive, and now Shashka's army arrives. Here comes the Marines, the cleanup crew. Yeah, Marines just have a very good time dealing with all of this. All those stalkers are gonna go down. GrumpyKittens on the back foot. This is the 4th game. Not a very good sign for them. But I'm very excited for Beauties and the Beast. Okay, the Ravagers, the Biles are doing a good job. They're clearing the lids, they're leaving them with almost no HP. They are stacking, but Raul has a lot of stalkers. He's starting to add Phoenixes as well. Phoenixes, pretty bad units overall, but there's nothing to attack them, and sometimes they can just add a little extra damage to help clear the libs. Oh, and I absolutely love that from Raul. He was trying to snipe one of the sentries. Doesn't actually kill the sentry, but almost did, and it was a really good try. Now this is looking scary. The cannon is killing a lot of Marines. Are the stalkers going to survive? That's really good for GrumpyKittens. Is this the time they come back? Is this a little bit of an opportunity? The Shroud's there, a little bit too preemptive. But that's a, oh man, okay, that's a pretty big army. Okay, yeah, that's too many Hydras. The Shrouds are just really useful, protecting against libs. Lands 2 fungals, so that's 180 damage. Is pretty good. Yeah, and yeah, this if your opponent is adding Phoenixes, you just add 1 BC, and you can see like Phoenixes do 6 damage twice, and BCs have 3 armors. So that's minus 6 damage per attack. It's the way that armor and attack upgrades work in this game. It just makes BCs take next to 0 damage against Phoenixes. Shashka keeping on the pressure, just clearing every single unit. Okay, some stalkers left alive, but does enough damage to Triss where it's gonna be fine. And Pepper has had some very good biles. That's a lot of Liberators stacked. He doesn't bile them, but so many Hydras. Man, Pepper adding so many Hydras. I normally go for a much higher Ravager count and Mutas, and he's going for more of a Hydra style, which is different from what I'm used to seeing, but still good. Okay, and Raul does counter the BC with adding Void Rays. It's pretty good. Yeah, Void Rays do a lot of damage against BCs. But you can see that Raul is starting to not be able to clear the wave. There's 5 libs still standing. There's a lot of stalkers. Raul is having issues. Yeah, there's libs still alive, and they're gonna clear almost everything. These side Marines are gonna try, but okay, there's libs still alive. Okay, let's see. This is a pretty big stack. There's a Thor, there's libs, there's a lot of things. And these Corruptors are not gonna be able to do a lot of damage. They do it very slowly. This army is gonna go down dead. Ravager Hydra just trades very poorly against Thor. Actually, Triss kind of missed micro there a little bit. He was sieging around and unsieging. Kind of loses that fight. Very curious to see. I wonder if we could have microed that differently, and that would have given them an edge. But now this is okay. They still have a pretty good chance. There's a Thor, there's a BC. That's a lot of HP and armor, but man, the cleanup crew is just good at doing what it does, man. It gets the job done, absolutely annihilates the leak, absolutely annihilates the stack. Very good job, and now it's basically only libs and Thors. Now, Pepper still doesn't have a good answer against the Thor. Well, he is adding Mutas, and Mutas, they're decent against Thors. Aw, look at the biles and the fungals. All the libs go down almost instantly. They melt like butter. Very good fungal there, landing on tops of units. Okay, but the Corruptors are letting the Liberators stack. Let's see. They're tier 3 libs. Let's see how this looks like. And okay, the sieges are there. No +2 attack, so it's gonna take 3 shots per lib to kill the Stalkers. But okay, this is a huge stack. Is Shashka ready enough to deal with this huge army? As long as Imsux can deal with all the Marines, the Stalkers and the Thors are going to be able to clear the libs from Shashka. Okay, yeah, this is a pretty huge stack. Is GrumpyKittens gonna come back in this one? It's against the Zerg. Pretty good shrouds there, I would say. Still, I would love to see maybe some lings to deal with these Thors. Aw, dude, just Pep. Normally Zerg is it's not played, right? Like usually it's Terran or Protoss, but the Zerg is absolutely showing itself to be a dominant force in this game, not letting the Terran stack whatsoever. Even if the other army stacked with the Terran, he's able to clear all the libs. He just does not care. If that was a Protoss, it would definitely have gotten wrecked. That's all I'm saying. But the Zerg microed at a very high level can play and contend with everyone else. And this is starting to... I think the window for the GrumpyKittens is starting to close out. Yeah, that's a lot of Hydras, man. More than 2 lines of Hydra. Sorry, not more than 2 lines. Over 16 Hydras. I was looking at the unit number count. Oh, I tuned in just in time. The Ravager Bios, there's like 5 libs. Yeah, and now Shashka can siege on the Thor. And the Thor... Is it the Thor gonna die? Yeah, the Thor dies. Okay. Oh, no. Doesn't die. Libs decides to unsiege. Kachar catches up to Imsux, and Kachar also adding Phoenix Void Ray. Yeah, but how is this Phoenix Void Ray army going to do against the Terran? The thing is, I think Shashka doesn't... You can see Shashka's not even trying to clear the libs. He just doesn't care about the libs at all. He's just saying, okay, I'm gonna deal with all the ground, and Pepper, you deal with all the libs. So even usually lib stacking, very, very scary. But Zerg doesn't care that much. The bio's just completely annihilated. He's adding way too many Corruptors. And Corruptors, they can't kill Thors, and he doesn't have any lings. I would really like to see some lings to help clear out these Thors. Let's see, can Raul deal with this army by himself? Disruptors all died, the Immortals all... They're still there, but yeah, it catches up. Now it's gonna be up to Shashka to deal with the stack. This is a great opportunity for GrumpyKittens. Can they take the game back now? The libs are dealing with all the Marines, the Stalkers, but the Stalkers are just blinking back, Kachar. I think you really needed to blink the Stalkers away there. Auto blink against libs is just... I don't think it's the right call to do, honestly. Yeah, the libs just clear everything. Okay, so Imsux still has libs alive, but libs as we have been seeing is not amazing against Zerg. No good answer to deal with the Thors. The Thors are still standing strong. It's only Corruptors. This is a very difficult wave for Raul. I just can't imagine Raul winning this wave. Well, let's find out. Raul does have the +2 attack. The Stalkers are gonna go down very quickly, but Immortals deal with the Thors. Void Rays and Phoenix deal with all the libs. This army from Raul. Normally, I would think Protoss would have a really hard time clearing that, but no, Raul just absolutely destroys the wave. And Shashka now comes and clears the remaining wave of Kachar. Wow. Raul doing an amazing job there, to be honest. I can't describe how well that was. usually GrumpyKittens and a wave like that would be where they come back. They would just, with all that leak, they would just clear the Protoss, but Raul says no to that. And now Pepper can deal with the clean wave. GrumpyKittens was really relying on stacking some units, but now that they're placing clean waves, now this is where Beauties and the Beast just get their opportunity to cement their lead, their advantage even more. Yeah, you can see now barely any army from Imsux left alive. Kachar has to deal with a leak with Corruptors, with Raul's army, and not to mention the incoming army from Shashka. Okay, this is not looking very good for the GrumpyKittens. They do get their opportunity to stack Lip Thor. Oh man, but even the Thors are hyper-focused on clearing the libs. Only 5 still alive, and only 3 Thors. Is that enough to deal with this massive army of Zerg? This is Hydra Muta Corruptor. Shroud's a little bit late. Okay, the bios are pretty nice. Disruptor shots. They kind of like, I think, yeah, all the disruptor shots have 0 kills, so they all, I think they all missed. Kind of a big stack now. There's a lot of color, but the thing is, at this point of the game, it's 17 minutes. Tashkis has had time to build up the army he wants to be able to clear what the GrumpyKittens has. So he's just decided libs, and I'm just gonna clear most of the ground. This is a lot of color, different units, but they're all battered and bruised. Like these are not fully HP units, and Liberators just. Sorry, the Ravagers have a good time in clearing the libs. I would really love to see some Lings or some Ultras. I'd really love to see Pepper just taking the Thors a lot more seriously. You can see that the Thors just trade out against Ravager Hydra so well that they're almost able to clean the wave by themselves. And that is just such an easy fix. You just add some Lings or maybe some Ultra, depending on how, if you're tier 3 or tier 1 or tier 2. Normally, you do want to see some Lings, and you could say, well, what about the Hellbats? Well, the Hellbats... they usually die to a leak, so you still want some Lings, and even if there's Hellbats, you could just add some Banes maybe to clear them, or let the Ravagers deal with the Hellbats. A lot of libs alive for both sides, but it is Triss that is going to catch faster. Now Pepper finally adding the Ultras, but that's a lot of libs. And if these libs can clear this army, this is just too many Thors, man. Too many Thors. I think we're gonna get to see a comeback. GrumpyKittens should be absolutely be able to clear this wave, no problem. What? What? Okay. Okay, wait. Triss was able to clear all the ground, but the Corruptors are still alive, and that just kind of separates Imsux's army from coming down to rescue the previous army. The splits are very nice. That is one thing the Corruptors do very well. They split the army. They let the anti-ground units walk first, while they distract all the air units. Okay, but Protoss actually is this a turnaround? I don't see anything to deal with these Void Rays. There's absolutely nothing stopping these Void Rays from killing all these libs. So, I guess... Well, never mind. Libs actually trade out decently anti-air. Okay, yeah, this is not enough. Oh, okay, it's really good job having Triss. Oh my god, Triss. That was an insane micro there. He disabled the anti-air attack from the Thors, so the Thors were able to clear all the Ravager and Hydra first, and then he enabled the anti-air so he could clear the Mutas. This is absolutely why you need Lings. really love to see Pepper just adding lings, man. Just some lings at the back, maybe some at the sides. It just makes a huge world difference. Okay, disruptor shots, not amazing. Not amazing, to be honest. Like, once you get anything more than 2 disruptors, it's gonna be hard to get high valued kills, high valued disruptors. Anything after 2. Okay, but this is a huge stack. Almost all these libs are gonna go down. That's a lot of Void Rays still left alive. Can the Zerg deal with this Terran army one more time? What's it gonna be? The Ultras finally make their appearance, but the Thors, they just clear with all the ground, and now they disable the Anti-Air, and they're gonna clear all the Mutas and the Viper as well. Oh man, and then the Thors, they kind of do a very good job at trading against air, but Raul knows it's only Immortals at the front. If he just adds Stalkers, which is what he's been doing so far. So if he just adds Immortals, they really kill the front doors very quickly, and maybe some Zealots as well could help. Sick Disruptors from Kachar actually clears almost all the bio unit. Is this gonna be the time the GrumpyKittens come back? This is looking much better than all the last time, but it is a little bit late. It is 21 minutes. This is a huge amount of advantage that Beauties and the Beast has been able to amass so far in this game. Man, it's been so close. It's really been coming to tryst with those doors, just absolutely annihilating all the Ravager and Hydra Infestor from Pepper. Okay, yeah, and now now all the Corruptors get pushed as well. GrumpyKittens is doing it. The comeback is real. You can see that they're starting to gas even. Yeah, Imsux just throws down a gas because he knows he's got this. Oh, look at this massive Protoss army with Thors still standing. So there's 4 Thors, man. Shashka's army just absolutely cannot deal with this. The cleanup crew is getting cleaned up. And yeah, is this cannon gonna stay alive? Well, the Ultras come here to catch. Finally, the Lings make their appearance. I've been waiting for this forever, but the Disruptor, it's too late. The Disruptors clears all the Zerg. That is one problem that Zerg has. It's just, it's not great against Terran and, against Protoss. And if you have a mass Hydra Ravager army like this, it just gets completely cleared by Disruptors. Cannon goes down, and GrumpyKittens is looking very good now. Okay, Imsux added a lot of Hellbats, and Hellbats, they're pretty cheap. You can get them. They add a lot of armor and health to your army. It's really good, but they're not damaged. They're just tanky units you add when you have 80 HP, 80 minerals or 160 minerals. You can't get a Thor, you get a couple Hellbats out. It's pretty nice. Yeah, wait. Is Shashka doing it? What? How did Shashka clear this? Yeah, there's more. Shashka wins this way. Wow. I was completely not expecting that. I thought the GrumpyKittens had this in the back, but Shashka somehow made it work. He gets a really good trade, and now the Mutas here clean everything. The Thors are in high enough numbers. The Vipers distract the Thors. Yeah, the Ultras. There's enough Mutas still standing. Thors do not trade all that well against. Thors do not trade well against Mutas, and oh my god, they are doing it. Beauties and the Beast somehow turning it around. Finally, Pepper with the right army composition is going to be able to clear the Terran on a clean wave, or almost clean wave. Disruptor shots have to be very crucial. They have to land very well, and some of them do not land very well. They clear some of the bio army, but look at the Libs and the Thor standing strong. Kachar and Imsux get completely annihilated, and Beauties and the Beast are turning it around one more time, and this time, they have the right armies this time. Like, Pepper was missing some Lings, he was missing some Ultras, but now that he has the army he needs, the Thors from Triss won't get those high-value traits that they were getting for last time. You can see the huge difference. Blinding Clouds on the Thors. The Ultras just chomp them up. Beauties and the Beast looking very good to take game number 4 now. It's 25-minute mark, and it's very hard to make a comeback after this point. Parasitic Bomb? No Parasitic Bomb. Okay. The pool? Actually, the pool is enough to clear the BC. Nice. This is where Raul's carriers reign supreme. You don't have to clear everything. You don't have to do everything as the Protoss. Just do enough damage, and usually the Terran cleanup crew can do their job. They can clean up everything. The Thors, Libs, Marines are just good at dealing with anything, really. And if the army's damaged, it's even better. So all the Protoss has to do is just tag the units a little bit and let the Terran do their job. That's a lot of Libs, and the Libs are killing the Thors. That's not good, because now here come the big boy Ultras and the Blinding Clouds, and all the Thors go down. Mutas clear the Libs. Hydras clear the Libs. Yeah, this heavy mech army usually very good at coming back, but once the Zerg gets those Ultras, it's a very, very tough thing to do. Look at his immortal count from Raul. It's a pretty big immortal count, and it's not gonna trade that well. It's against Zealots, so it's not really amazing, but this is what Raul's doing. He's splitting the army. Look at all the Zealots and Immortals going forward. And while all the rest of the army stays here at the back, the Immortals and the Zealots, they get cleared first. And then the rest of the army makes it, where the Liberators cannot siege on the Thors. So the Thors get to shoot for free, and all of them are gonna go down. When you're playing Libs against Thors, you absolutely need the Libs to siege on the Thors. If the Liberators are not sieging on Thors, then the Thors just stay alive and they clear the Libs. That is a huge micro difference. You need the Liberators to siege on Thors. Wow, Beauties and the Beasts have really been respecting the GrumpyKittens this game so far. You can tell that their gas count, if they were feeling, the gas count kind of lets you know how confident the team is in that game and how serious they're taking it. And they're taking this very seriously. They're not gassing that high. Only Raul has 2 gas. The rest is still on 1. Yeah, but this massive army split is just... I don't know how GrumpyKittens can come back from this. That army split is just being way too massive. Zealots like trading against Hellbat Marine. There's no way Zealots can get good trades in those situations. Yeah, Triss barely has an army, and whatever's left is gonna absolutely get demolished by this Thor count. And now the trick that Triss was using, disabling the anti-air attack of the Thors, is no longer working because there's Lings and Ultras, and the Ultras are at the base. That's a lot of damage. Yeah, Nexus goes down. GG is called. Beauties and the Beast taking game number 4 and looking just 1 game away from winning this match. Now, GrumpyKittens, they're no strangers to being in this position. They've been down multiple times. So let's see if this is the comeback from GrumpyKittens. Okay, and game number 5 is loading up. It looks like no Zerg anymore. The Zergs are out. And on the top right, we have the GrumpyKittens, starting with Triss. Second lane, Imsux and Kachar playing Protoss. Kachar's played Protoss all 5 games so far. He really likes his Protoss. And on the bottom left, we have the Beauties and the Beasts with Raul, who's also been playing Protoss all this time. The first lane, Shashka on the second, and Darkwhite on the third. Some small skirmishes, but make no mistake, this is Protoss. One Protoss and double Terrans for both teams, so this is probably very likely going to be a BC war. And we already have Imsux going for that T2. He took 1 gas. Is he gonna get T3? He queues it up instantly, so we know what type of game this is gonna be. But Shashka, those are not BCs. This is not BC. Kachar deciding this time to not play the BC versus BC, instead focusing on Marines. So he's just gonna try to make a big amount of pressure. Just take the game early and do so much damage. Rely on his Raven, Micro, and Thor to just clear the BCs. Raul should win this one very comfortably. You can see this time he's respecting the libs a little bit more. He's going for a lot more stalkers. I believe he will be adding more adepts soon. Imsux definitely gonna go BCs. But this cannon, it might go down already. Kachar blinks front, starts to catch it, but does not catch it on time. Shashka gets the bunker. As the BC player, you kind of know, you're expecting, okay, my bunker is very likely to go down. Obviously, you don't want it to go down. You want it to stay alive as much as possible. But you kind of know it's gonna go down, so it's still fine for the GrumpyKittens. It's completely within parameters. But this does mean that the early game is going to completely go for Beauties and the Beast. Beauties and the Beast, okay, Triss tries to suicide as quick as possible. Just stims everything, but he does next to no damage. Okay, Imsux blinks away, lets the Planetary Fortress deal with this crap. Okay, the Stalker just gets 1 attack on the PF, so that was a good suicide from Triss. And he just let his units die. Very good play. But the BC, it's just 1 BC. It's still not at a point where the BCs can just tank lots of damage. It's just 1. Kachar is not even comfortable catching the BCs yet. He's still at the back, not at the front. So he is trying to stack with Triss. They're going more for a classic PT stack. Okay. 1 Stalker is gonna survive. Raul is just adding Stalkers after Stalkers. Raul is completely dependent on his teammates just doing enough damage to Triss that he can clear. And the reason why Raul is doing this is so that he can have enough Stalkers to deal with the BC. So he's really focusing on the next wave, not on his wave per se. It's a very nice thing to do when you're playing against BCs and your teammate are mostly dealing with the wave that you're facing. You're gonna have to help your teammates deal with their waves. And here we have it, the Raven, just anti-armor missile interference matrix is just so good. Some Stalkers alive, they're trying to stack, they're doing their best, but here comes the cleanup crew, and some of these Stalkers are anti-armor missiles, so they will go down very quickly. Wow, that's a very early 2-2 from Darkwhite. Triss is still just has +1 attack and no armor upgrade, and Darkwhite is already 2-2. Okay, and this is actually getting out of hand for the GrumpyKittens. This is a lot of Stalkers. Raul BCs just do not trade very well against Stalkers. They just don't. And you can see that Imsux is trying to blink back, trying to have some battle cruiser survive, but the Stalkers, man, they just trade absolutely amazing against BCs. And then the anti-armor missile from Shashka covers almost all of the Stalkers, so the Stalkers are gonna have an extremely hard time with dealing with this bio army. And then Darkwhite can even use her anti-armor missile. Carpet, yeah, she's gonna do it. Of course she's gonna do it. She's really good. She knows what she's doing. She completely covers a lot of units in anti-armor missile. And it's just a ragtag group of some Marauders, some Marines, some Stalkers. They're all battered and bruised. They've seen better days. They're veterans, but not in the good way. They're veterans not from having extra experience and knowledge. They're veterans from being wounded in battle. Not the veterans you need. Yeah, and BC's Imsux dodges the interference matrix. He's doing his best, but it doesn't matter. All of them go down. There's too many Stalkers and Marines. The PT stack is just standing absolutely strong. This is really not looking good for the GrumpyKittens. The gas count is even, so that is something in their favor, right? The gas count is even. That means the bottom team is ahead, but if the GrumpyKittens can take them, if they can take back the middle, then they still have an opportunity to coming back. They're not that far behind. Yeah, man, but this is just so many Stalkers and Raul with that High Templar even. Gonna get a second Storm. Is he gonna use it? He does use it. I mean, you would think storming BCs is not that great, but it's 80 damage. It's something, right? It's something. It's 80 guaranteed damage. It's something. Disruptor from Kachar manages to get 4 kills. Trades well, but they're gonna need better traits than that. They're gonna need a lot better than well in order to come back at this. Stalker's getting massacred. Really good anti-armor missile from Darkwhite covers the army in red, and now this is the problem that even though in paper Triss's army, if you look at a clean wave, Triss's army would very likely be doing very well against Raul, but the army is so damaged. It looks close, but that's a lot of Stalkers still alive, man. Like, and the Marauders are sleeping on the job, attacking the High Templar instead of attacking the Stalkers. And Stalkers, I think they do more than 80 damage to the BCs, I'm pretty sure. Imsux tries the fancy blink there, but no dice. Blinks too far away, so if you blink too far away from the BCs, they just blink in place. You don't get the nice blink back. Disruptor shot gets 3 kills. Second one gets 6. Okay, this is looking pretty clean, but this army from Raul looks huge. Can the 3 Liberators still alive do it? And the storms are massive. They land on all the bio. The bio gets cleared. The Marauders this time, they were standing strong last time, but now there's Immortals. The Marauders all fall down to Immortals. Storm gonna land now, maybe anytime. Okay, yeah, the Storm lands on 2 BCs, does some damage, but man, look at these BCs. They're trying to split the army, but Shashka's ready for that. He uses the anti-armor missile on the BCs. Man, Beauties and the Beast, are they really gonna do this? Taking down the champions on a 4-1. Beauties and the Beast were trying this BC strategy against the Grand Potatoes, but we didn't get to finish that matchup. it was 2-0 in Grand Potato's favor, and it was looking very one-sided, but Beauties and the Beast are making it work against the Grumpy Kittens. Yeah, man, this is just too many Stalkers. Blinks forward, catches all the Libs and Raven. It all is gonna go down, and there's still 3 High Templars, so there's a 100% probability of storms coming. Okay, I don't. Okay, nice blink back. This blink just killed the 2 Libs. Yeah, that was very nice. Disruptors from Kachar managed to. They managed to damage the Thors from Shashka, but they don't kill it, so the Thors, even if they're on 10% HP, they still do 100% of damage, and they're able to clear all of the BCs. They all go down. We really need to... Basically, the BC strategy is kind of focused on hoping the next wave doesn't have a good answer to the BCs, or the other wave, like... They're just hoping there's some weakness, some vulnerability there that the BCs can exploit, but Beauties and the Beast are having no weaknesses to be exploited. They're just making the right army compositions. I really want to talk on how good they've been doing all so far. Yep, nice storms. They land on the BCs. Planetary Forge is already taking some damage, almost at 50% HP. Nice, and okay, this time Kachar manages to snipe one of the Thors. Very nice. It takes 3 disruptor shots to clear a Thor, and that's really what you're going for. You really want to just shoot disruptors in groups of 3 and hope you kill some clumped up Thors. But the Thors from Shashka were just way too far spread out, so he only manages to kill one of them. The disruptor that almost made it. Had a dream, but it only killed 1 Widow Mine. Liberators dancing in front of each other. Never a good sign. Blink's front, trying to catch the BCs as much as he can. Imsux is forced to engage. He can't just blink back because his Planetary Fortress is just too close to dying. So he really can't blink back. And the Storm getting a lot of damage even on the Stalkers. These Stalkers are battered and bruised. And now all the BCs are red. And the Stalkers bring front. Kachar is going to be able to clear this. This is looking pretty good for Grumpy Kittens. There's a lot of BCs. It's a lot of Stalkers. And then if we just had some more Immortal shots. Sorry, Disruptor shots. If these okay, some comments there. But if these Disruptors, if they were still there, then maybe we could have seen something coming. But the Disruptors being on cooldown there is very punishing. Now Raul gets to face a clean wave, and it's just damage bio against Storm. They all go down, then the Stalkers immediately blink front, and the Void Raids to catch all the libs and clear them. Imsux realizes that since he can't blink back anymore because the Planetary Fortress might go down, he might as well add some libs to trade even better. But it's not looking all that good. Nice Disruptor. This is what you want to see. You want to shoot 3 Disruptors and get 2 or 3 Thors at once. As long as you get 2 Thors, the trade is worth it. 3 Disruptors are cheaper than 2 Thors. Okay, nice second Disruptor shots. But yeah, there's no way this is enough. Anti-armor missile lands. I gotta say, man, this is looking okay. And here, Raul with the Tempest. Okay, wait, but the Planetary Fortress is taking a lot of damage. The BZs do not do a lot of damage. There's nothing stopping these Immortals. The Immortals are shooting. The Planetary Fortress survives at just 12 HP. That looked very close there for a moment. Nothing was shooting at the Immortals. That could have That is pure luck that the Planetary Fortress is still standing. Oh, Imsux attempts to blink forward and tank, but the Thors kill most of the BCs. Some disruptor shots. They land. Okay, that one was pretty disgusting, to be honest. That was a pretty good one right there, but not enough. And now, okay, there's some stacked. There's some libs spread out there. There's some army. Okay, yeah, these libs. Oh man, but what? Okay, beautiful storm. Absolutely crucial storm right there. Almost all the libs get completely damaged from it. And now the Void Rays clear everything. That was a very crucial storm. Raul with a clutch High Templar there. Absolutely beautiful play. BCs attempt to blink front, but that just... They're trying to protect the libs, but the libs still go down. The Tempest, experts at dealing with BCs and libs. And libs. But now there's no way Kachar's army can deal with this. His army is prepared to deal with ground units, but he's not prepared to deal with the Liberators. Three libs. Interesting. Libs doing a lot of damage there, but the thing is, if you don't kill these Tempests, they shoot very slowly, but you can see that they do shoot, and they do add a lot of damage to the BCs. They don't have the highest DPS, but they can pretty much ignore armor because their base attack is so big that they do not care about armor, and they get that plus 26 damage against Massive, which is massive. There's no way these Stalkers and Mortals and Disruptors are going to be able to clear this Bio Army, but there's way too many Marauders from Darkwhite. Here comes Raul. And he only has to deal with the libs. And all the libs are clumped. So he just abuses the fact that Triss has to clump up all his libs to just storm them down. And then he gets 4 Tempests to deal with the BCs. Plus the Void Rays. Plus the Storm. Imsux, why? Why blink front? Why? He's trying to protect the libs, I can understand that part, but all the BCs go down very quickly. Okay, Disruptor shots are coming, but they miss pretty terribly, actually. They barely kill any bio, almost 0 kill on almost all of them. That is not good for Kachar. And it is expected, even the best players, as you can see, have a hard time always getting value out of Disruptors. That's not an easy feat to do, especially if you're on the back foot. Usually if you're ahead, it's easier to land good Disruptors. If you're behind, it's very hard to land good Disruptors. But you really need to get good Disruptors. You have to justify their value. Okay, Imsux blinks in place as much as he can. But there's so many... Oh man, the thing is, like, when you blink in place, you're landing on top of, like, what, 10 Thors and some Ravens. So the Ravens get the interference matrix, your BCs, so they don't do any damage. They can't even Yamato, right? And then the Thors just clear everything very quickly. Oh, look at all the Disruptors. They all... Oh, no. Awful Disruptor shots. Absolutely not what Kachar needs right now. Oh, that looked very sad. Oh, that was just so sad to watch. All like 5 disruptors just getting pulled by a Widow Mine and then doing absolutely no damage, no kills. I can't believe this, but guys, Beauties and the Beast is on a match point. If they win this game, they win the match, and that would mean GrumpyKittens would face their first defeat in a very, very long time. It's been years. But the prophecy said that they were gonna lose one at some point. It's finally come true. You can't win forever, right? Like, you have to lose at some point. And Beauties and the Beast took up that challenge, and they might be able to make it come true. But GrumpyKittens does not want to give up. This is looking very bad, make no mistake. Everything points to Beauties and the Beast winning this one, but maybe GrumpyKittens can make their magic. Although as time goes on, it's getting worse and worse. After 21 minutes, I mean, I've seen comebacks happen in 25 minutes, so I don't want to call it yet, but it does get harder. And the thing is, like, Beauties and the Beast they have had the army to deal with the BCs every single time. They've been getting the right army compositions. Okay, nice disruptors from Kachar, just going on 10 disruptors, and I think all of them killed at least, okay, maybe not this one, but a lot of them got at least 1 kill, so that was very good for Kachar. I gotta recognize that was amazing. Those were some really good balls right there. Yeah, those were some really good balls. Yeah, but man, I gotta say, Beauties and the Beast, if they win this one, this is one for the DS history, to be honest. A new team coming in and just beating the best players right off the bat. They're looking like very good contenders for the next tournament, to be honest. Okay, that was a very good trade for Imsux, but the issue he has is like the BCs just, the Tempest. They usually are very bad. Tempests are normally very, very bad. But the one, well, there's 2 scenarios where they're good. They're good at killing Protoss air units, and they're good at killing Terran air units. And this is Terran air units, so they're doing an amazing job, and they're hyper focused on just clearing all the libs and the BCs. And that's kind of what they do. They just really focus on those air units and they gun them down. Usually you only want to make Tempest when you're really far ahead. You just want to, you can't make more Stalkers, because making more Stalkers at this point of the game is just bad, to be honest. So you make Tempest. Tempest are that extra unit after you've maxed out on your 2-3 lines of Stalkers. You start to get some Tempest. Carriers are good, but they're absolutely awful against BCs. BCs have +6 armor, and carriers get like so much damage reduction per armor that you just might as well make Tempest. Okay, Yamatos come down in all of the Tempest. They're all looking very, very damaged. These are scrap Tempests. I can only imagine what the conversation must be right now between the Beauties and the Beast. Like, guys, we're gonna do it! We're gonna do it! We're doing it! Just one more game, guys, and it's looking very good. It's almost 25 minutes. It's looking very nice. Let's just not drop the ball here, and we should do this. Oh, man. I can only wish I would hear what's going on in their comms right now. But they still need to focus. GrumpyKittens is not dead, and if they're not dead, they're gonna play it out. But this is looking very sad, man. Once Imsux blinking front with BCs into just this massive army of Thor Tempest. The Yamatos are no longer... it's at the point where there's so many units, you can't just Yamato manually, because your BCs are dying so quickly, right? You want a Yamato automatically. So as many BCs get their Yamato out, but then your Yamatos are not killing anything. They're just damaging units. You're not killing anything. So the BCs are just trading absolutely poorly. Grumpy's and it's the GrumpyKittens trying to make the BCs work, but Beauties and the Beast is completely smashing that strategy. Okay, we can see some players are still getting their tier 4 upgrades. That's a lot of Immortals actually, and this Planetary Fortress doesn't have any HP. That was very close. It only has shields pretty much. And he sneezed at that Planetary Fortress and it goes down. That was a lot of Immortals. Very close. Blink front. Lots of balls coming out. Some of them land, some of them don't. And that's the problem. Once you get more than 2 disruptors, you really can't guarantee that you'll always hit something with them. Darkwhite! Darkwhite! Siege! Where's the siege? I think Darkwhite is already fist pumping. She's like, nah, I already got this, I won this. And she forgot that the game was still going on. GrumpyKittens is still trying. They're still microing everything. You can see Kachar getting that tier 4 now. That's very late. 27 minutes. Okay, wait. Immortals? Can they get the job done? No, not yet. So many libs, man. Those libs are basically one-shotting the Immortals at this point, because there's just so many libs that their liberation stones are starting to... They're starting to all attack the same unit, so the Immortals are just getting killed instantly. Here comes the Disruptor shots. Get some Thors. Zealots distract. Even a tank coming out from Shashka. That's a lot of Thors, man! That's a lot of Thors. That's a lot of money. Darkwhite is rich. Thors going down. Some units going down there. Look at this massive... Raul is hungry, man. He's hungry for the win. He's just adding Immortals. He's like, these Immortals, they just... I mean, some Disruptors could have probably ended this match a long time ago. So I'm very curious why he hasn't added any. Like, literally, just a couple of Disruptors would have already ended this game. But he's hyper-focused on letting the Immortals do the job. And, okay, man, okay. You've been playing so good that I can't say anything about it, but definitely some Disruptors would have ended this game a long time ago. They're still giving GrumpyKittens a bit of a fighting chance. They're letting them have some hope before they completely snuff this game out. That's a lot of army. I think this might be it, to be honest. It's a lot of damage coming onto Triz's wave. Triz, okay, that's a lot of Thors. That's a lot of Thors still standing. That's over 10 Thors. They're still alive. There's no way this Planetary Fortress is gonna be able to clear it. And GG is called. Beauties and the Beast take game number 5. And they end up beating the GrumpyKittens on a 4-1 score. Wow. What a great showing for the Beauties and the Beast. Just absolutely amazing, the fact that just a new team on the block and they get to beat the best team. That must be such a confident boosters. I can't wait to see them in the next tournament, see how they fare up against some of the other teams. They were not doing so well against the Grand Potatoes. They did a great job against GrumpyKittens. This is what their final army looked like. A lot of Thors from Shashka. So yeah, this is what their final army is gonna look like. Now, they're a new team, but make no mistake, Darkwhite has been playing tournaments for, I think for as long as I can remember, she's been playing tournaments. She gets always top 4 or something. Raul, newcomer, but he made it pretty far. In the last random tournament, he made it pretty far. And Shashka is like the king of 1v1. If you play Direct Start 1v1, you've probably met Shashka, you've probably lost to him. So this team is definitely a very all-star team. And they're definitely showing up, man. Can't wait to see more from them. And with that, guys, I end the video. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching the video, guys. And as always, have a great day.